Hey guys, Cameron Stewart here with Fast Cash Home Buyers, and I get the question a lot, how fast can I close on my house if I sell to an investor? So today we're going to be talking about that. Hey folks, thanks for joining me. Once again, Cameron Stewart here with Fast Cash Home Buyers. We're talking about how fast you can close on your home if you were to sell to an investor like me. In New York, as we know, there's a lot of regulation that still pertains to real estate as well. So generally speaking, it takes longer to close in the state of New York than most other states. However, I can tell you that your simple answer is 30 to 45 days on average. We have closed on 2 properties in 30 days or less last year, and it is a rarity to do so that quickly, but it is possible for sure. There are some things that impact how quickly we can close, and we're going to go over those today. So the first thing that is most impactful to the length of the closing process is your abstract. Every time a property is sold in the state of New York, a title company, a registered title company, has to do what's called an abstract of title. What that does is it goes back in time, depending on the county, depends on how long they go back for. Some counties 40 years, some counties 45, 60 years. Every county is a little different, but what they'll do is they'll go back in time and review the chain of custody of that home to make sure that there are no liens or encumbrances on that house and that the correct person has the correct authority to sell that home to another person. And that takes the longest process. Especially if you don't have a current abstract of title. If you have one currently, then it's simply an update. Even if it wasn't updated or hasn't been updated since, let's say, 1980, updating an existing abstract is way quicker, easier, and a lot cheaper than rebuilding an entirely new abstract. So that is the number one thing that takes the longest in a closing process. If you're building a brand new one, I've seen it take as long as 4 to 6 weeks just for the abstract of title to be built. Updating generally takes 2 weeks, okay? But the abstract is the number one most time-consuming thing. Secondly, are there any liens on the home? And what I mean by that is, are there any unpaid water bills, taxes, mechanics liens, anything that is considered debt on the home and must be taken care of when the home sells. Generally speaking, they're not too much of a problem, but sometimes something pops up and you have to make sure that you take care of that payment and pay that lien off prior to closing, and it's just another step which could take another day or two, but generally not that big of a deal. Another very common thing that holds up closing time is there another person that owns the property with you? Unfortunately, siblings don't tend to get along very well. I'm not an only child. I have a sister, and we love each other, but we don't get along that well sometimes, right? We're siblings. We're always at each other. So with that said, when it comes time to selling a house, as you could imagine, with 2, 3, I've seen houses with sometimes 5 owners, it takes a little time to get everyone to sign and everyone on the same page mainly. So if there's joint ownership in a property, that can take a little bit of time. So these are some of the things that take the most time during closing. Once again, we can close in as little as 30 days from the date of property being under contract to the date the seller is paid. It is a little rare, but if you have your abstract, if it's cut and dry, everything's good to go, then we can get closed that quickly. Once again, my name is Cameron Stewart with Fast Cash Home Buyers. If you're interested in having me come out and take a look at your home to see what I'd be interested in paying cash for it, please give me a call directly, 315-351-2772. You can log on to fastcashhomesny.com and get a hold of me there as well. Thanks so much, and I look forward to speaking to you guys soon.